call this February 6th work session of the Oconee County Board of Education to order. First item of business is to approve the agenda, and we need a motion to do so.
So moved.
Mr. Burgess?
Second.
Mr. Ransom, all in favor? Passes 5-0. Next, we have the superintendent's report.
Thank you, board members. Thank you, audience, for showing up tonight. We've got, as you can see, a packed house, overflowing actually, of student recognitions, and just point out a few things that we'll celebrate at a later date as well. But we're going to celebrate lots of students tonight. But we will be recognizing our star students this week at the Star Student Breakfast on Wednesday. That's Michelle Lee and Victor Wong from North and Oconee County High Schools, and so we're excited to take part in that. I know our board members will be joining us, that those are there available. Their star teachers, Jackson Huckabee from North Oconee and Zach Beebe from Oconee County High School, both hanging out on the wall as also as Oconee County Teachers of the Year. So really good company there. Today marks the start of National School Counseling Week. So you may have seen some social media posting from our schools recognizing our outstanding counselors. We want to appreciate the good work that they do for our students on a daily basis. This month also is CTAE month, Career Technology Agricultural Education, and so we thank all of our CTAE programs and teachers and all those that support that. And I think we're going to be celebrating some of those outstanding students and teachers tonight. I want to thank the Sheriff's Office. Again, you probably saw this on social media. We had a chance in our second VILA session, which is our Parent Academy. The Sheriff's Office came out and demonstrated what takes place when a campus-wide alert is, the button is pushed and an alert takes place. And so the Sheriff's Office came and did a demonstration and answered questions and talked with those individuals there. We have 2 per school, and as Dr. LaDuff and Sheriff Hale continue to collaborate, we're hoping to be able to do more of those events so that community members and parents can see within reason. Obviously we don't show all of the security measures we would take, but a demonstration of what happened is very impressive, the coordination that they have. So we appreciate their time and efforts in doing that. Last week we also had the district spelling bee, and we had Yehan from High Shoals and Dahir from Malcolm Bridge Elementary School, both winners there, and so we're excited for them to move forward and represent Oconee County. Oconee County Middle School girls and Malcolm Bridge Middle School boys won the Northeast Georgia Athletic League basketball titles. We call that Superintendent Special. We're always excited to see both schools win and see them win against other teams in the league. So good things in store for our future basketball programs. Rocky Branch had its career day, and we want to thank the 23 different organizations that took part there. I believe Ms. Farish was there as well, and so we appreciate everybody sharing their knowledge with the students. Speaking of students, it's time to start preparing for our newest students' kindergarten registration. The date's been announced, February 28th, March 3rd, and so I know we have some parents that would be pleased to bring their students there, and then the screenings will happen in late March. We have moved to an online process for that several years back, and that's been well received by our community and by our staff members. A few more items and then I'll be done. Walton EMC School Empowerment Grants were handed out to our schools last week, and we want to thank Walton EMC. We had 8 schools, 15 projects, and a total of $65,000 worth of grants that were provided to our schools and to our students and teachers. Last 2 things, Georgia High School State Swimming and Diving Championships just occurred, and Oconee County High School, Simon Casey and Caroline Stamps, both are state champions. We'll recognize them at a later date. And North Oconee, Ivy Buckley and Aiden Sadler were our champions. And then we had also collegiate signing day for our athletes. We had 14 that signed scholarships in sports of swimming, baseball, football, cycling, and softball. So it's been a busy time since we last got together. of great acknowledgments and great achievements by our students and teachers. So that'll conclude superintendent's report, unless there are questions.
Thank you, Dr. Branch. Next, we have recognitions. Mr. Colquitt, welcome.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Branch. Our first recognition tonight is with the middle school FFA Meets Team State Champions. I'll ask Dr. David Chapman to come up. I'm pleased to recognize Hayden Rowland, Reed Marchant, Parker Antoine, and William Rezitek.
And they're gonna pass it out. Thank you.
All right. Good looking group there. Miss Argo, there you are. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and again, 1, 2, 3. Okay, congratulations. Any parents? Also, the board will recognize the middle school FFA Meets Individual State Runners-Up from Oconee County Middle School, Hayden Rowland.
Here, hey, why don't you step up? Well, I won't bite you, but.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Next, the board will recognize the GMEA All-State Chorus from Oconee County Middle School. The awardees are Charlie Williams, Kate Healy, Emily Penland, Anna Grace Rodriguez, and Blair Smith.
Get them like you want.
All right, where do we go? 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3.
All right, y'all stay fit. Mom, Dad.
Parents got pictures?
Thank you much. Next, the board will recognize the 4A 1-Act state champions from North Oconee High School. Advisor Leslie Summer. Our awardees are Rebecca Baldwin, Annabelle Beasley, Lily Bischoff, Izzy Boyd, Whit Bynum, Katie Checketts, Noah Checketts, Maya Compton, Owen Correll, Emery Crawford, Julia Dempsey, Lila Diaz, Reese Edwards, Olivia Evans, Livy Grace Garrett, Paulina Guzman, Parker Hannawalt, Ruthie Harvard, Brooklyn Henderson, Alex Kopchak, Lainey Lyle, Elena Masters, Yule Na, Sebastian Paragas, Jess Patrick, Max Patrick, Lydia Peck, Keaton Rothschild,
Somebody should go down on your knees in the front, if you can do that. Then we can have those that do the, the crouch on the second row, and then have the other ones in the back.
Jordan Sloan, Tiger Stevens, Rachel Termel, and Jordan Whitehead. I'm going to get a coffee. Wow, that is a big group. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And one more for me. Hold on, a lot of parents.
Pretty good.
All right, parents. It's on some of their shirts. Adding feathers. The board will next recognize the 4A State Best Actress for North County High School, Lainey Lyle.
Go ahead.
Right here. Hold up number ones or what?
Sorry, see that again.
Say go Titans. Go
Congratulations.
The board will next recognize the 4A State All-Star Cast from North County High School, Lydia Peck and Max Patrick.
Congratulations.
I'll get right here.
1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3.
Stay put.
That concludes recognitions.
That's a good one.
Brooke.
Next, we have presentations and discussions. First, we have the teaching and learning report. Dr. Susan Stansel, welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, board members. The February Teaching and Learning Report contains 4 items of information and no action items. The first item of information is an update on the Georgia Student Technology Competition. This competition is a statewide competition where students in grades 3 through 12 compete in a variety of technology categories to showcase their digital creativity, motivation, innovation, and leadership. For the first time, Oconee County Schools participated in this competition, holding school and district events. The school and district winners were promoted through the 2022 OCS Technology Competition Showcase website. On Saturday, January 21st, the 22 Oconee County Schools district winners participated in the Northeast Georgia Regional Student Technology Competition hosted by Barrow County. We are excited to report that every OCS student placed, and 11 of those students placed first, and will move on to the state competition at Kennesaw State University in March. A huge thank you to Tony McCullers for organizing and leading this charge for our school system. The second item of information is an update on the new ELA state standards. The Georgia DOE recently posted new K-12 English Language Arts standards for a review, which was completed in December. Back at our January board meeting, I reported that if they were approved, the standards would be implemented in the 24-25 school year following teacher training during the 23-24 school year. The Georgia DOE has delayed the implementation of these standards to the 25-26 school year, giving us both 23-24 and 24-25 for alignment and professional development. The third item of information is an update on the Preparing for Dyslexia Law Conference that was put on by the Georgia Dyslexia Collaborative. Last week, on February 1st and 2nd, the Georgia Dyslexia Collaborative hosted a state conference titled Preparing for Dyslexia Law Conference at the Oconee County Civic Center. Oconee County Schools district leaders, principals, and a team of teachers took part in this training. On the first day of the two-day training, elementary principals, the director of elementary, and the director of special education took part in an overview of dyslexia, the recently adopted state rule, and how to provide effective training in reading instruction, starting with Tier 1 instruction through tiered interventions. On the second day of the conference, a team of special education teachers, classroom teachers, 2 elementary administrators, the director of elementary education, and our director of special education met again to analyze our current practices and further develop strategic steps to improve our Tier 1 reading instruction and effective tiers of interventions for students with dyslexia. A special thank you to Suzanne Korngold, who helped make this two-day conference take place in Oconee County, enabling our elementary administrators and teachers to attend a crucial conference that would typically take place in Macon. And a huge thank you to our school nutrition staff, who provided lunch for all attendees on both days. The fourth item of information is an update on the FY23 Special Education Local Education Agency District Determination. The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act requires the state agency, which is the Georgia DOE, to review the data of each local education agency to evaluate our performance in meeting requirements and purposes of IDEA. After a review of the data, states are required to make determinations on whether LEAs are meets requirements, need assistance, or need intervention. I am pleased to report that the division has completed a review of our data and has made the determination that OCS meets requirements. I want to again commend Suzanne Korngold for her leadership in this area. And that concludes the teaching and learning report, unless there are any questions.
Next, we have technology, and I understand you're going to give this report.
I am.
Welcome again.
Thank you. The Oconee County Schools Division of Technology Services Board of Education report contains only one action item for the February 13th, 2023 Board of Education meeting. The first action item is for desktop computers for CTAE technology enhancement. Bytespeed will continue to honor the request for proposal pricing for desktop computers that was approved by the board at the January 9th, 2023 regular session. This product will be paid for using a combination of ELOST and general funds. The superintendent's recommendation is for the board to approve Bytespeed with a bid of $47,270 for 58 desktop computers. This project will be paid again using ELOST and general fund dollars.
remind me where which schools these computers go to?
These will be for our computer science courses and business computer courses. I think at both high schools.
There'll be two
At each high school, at both.
Okay, great, thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you, Dr. Stansky.
All right, thank you.
Next, we have our Associate Superintendent's Report, Dr. Dallas LeDuc. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. The Student Services Report contains 4 items of information and 3 action items for the February 13th Board of Education meeting. The first item of information is the Georgia Student Health Survey. We continue to receive opt-out forms for anyone that wishes to opt out of that survey or opt their children out of that survey. And our schools will be administering that survey on or after February 13th and conclude March 10th or prior. The second item of information is our school nutrition participation. Happy to report that breakfast we've increased 1.45% and lunch 2.72% when compared to the 1920 school year. The third item of information is school choice. As you know, the school choice window has closed. We had a total of 379 school choice applicants for this to start the next school year at the school of their choice. Board members, as you remember, we issued notification to the public regarding our redistricting final lines on November 14th. The following Friday, on November 18th, we issued the information about school choice and let everyone know that if they wanted to attend a school outside of their attendance zone, that they could follow that application process and submit those to us before January 20th. The window closed on January 20th, and letters of notification that everyone who had applied was accepted was sent on January 27th. That information was then handed over to our school leaders as well as our teaching and learning and human resources staff so they could begin preparations for next year in terms of course registrations and allotments. Throughout that window, we also communicated several times on social media about the school choice window being open and making sure there's anyone who was interested had an opportunity to apply. The fourth item of information is athletics. I just wanted to update the board. In December, our girls flag football teams completed their first seasons at North Oconee and Oconee County High School. We had a total of 68 students participate in girls flag football in our first season, and North Oconee did qualify to go to the postseason in their first season. So we're very proud of that and want to thank the board for their support in continuing to create opportunities for our students to be engaged outside of the school day. The first action item for the February 13th Board of Education meeting is a North Oconee High School band field trip. They would like to travel to Washington, D.C. April 10th through the 14th of 2024 to participate in the National Cherry Blossom Festival Parade. The second action item is an Oconee County High School DECA field trip to Orlando, Florida. That will be April 22nd through the 25th of this year, 2023. The superintendent's recommendation is to approve both of those trips as presented. And the third action item is our Centegix Crisis Alert renewal. The superintendent's recommendation is to approve the renewal of our Crisis Alert system for a 5-year period at a total cost of $526,800. This renewal will be paid for using general funds. That concludes the student services report, unless there's any questions. Yes, sir.
Alex, can you remind me what the student health survey is? Sort of what's its purpose and what's it designed to do in terms of gaining information?
Yeah, well, it's a tool to assess the climate of the school and give schools feedback on how to address that climate. It is an anonymous tool, so students who take it complete that information, but no one ever knows what student completed what survey or what they answered in particular. And there's a number of categories. The elementary school survey is much shorter than the secondary school survey.
Okay. So it's the survey that we use to determine the climate, and I've seen those statistics and those references before. It's called a health survey, but it's really to sort of adjust the climate inside the school itself.
Yes, sir. It was one of the tools that contributed to our climate scores.
Yeah.
We've since not had a climate score recently
Yeah.
as part of CCRPI, but that's the same tool that
Okay.
was used.
I didn't recognize health survey, but I know what you're talking about.
Yes, sir.
We've talked about that before. One other question. Can you talk a minute about the numbers of the school choice in terms of where those numbers represent in terms of grades and the different schools around the county?
I don't have that information in front of me, but I can certainly get that to the
Okay.
superintendent in terms of
I mean,
those details.
That seems like more than we've had in previous years. Of course, I realize this year was a unique year with a lot of moving parts. But that seems like a larger number than we've had in previous years.
It is. We're typically between 80 and 100 total applications.
Okay. And you said all of them were approved, right?
Yes, sir. All the ones that were requested in that window were approved.
Okay, great, thank you.
Anyone else?
All right, I'm going to ask Mr. Ricketson to come up and deliver the operations report.
All right. Welcome.
Good evening. The Oconee County Schools Operation Division February Board of Education report contains 4 items of information and 1 action item for the February 13th, 2023 Board of Education meeting. The first item of information is the energy report. The December energy report shows an on-trend usage over November, an on-trend increase in usage over November. The lead custodial meeting was held on Thursday, January 12th, and was hosted by the team at Collin Ferry Elementary. The team discussed electrical hazards for custodians and proper use of electrical closets. Our custodial teams are to be commended for their rigorous work ensuring their schools are clean for health. Construction update. Beautiful day today. As you can see from the photographs, the upper photograph shows the roof. They're putting the finishing touches on it. The roof is complete now. The building is dried in. The next picture shows the grandstands are complete now. And if you look to your right, you can see the construction of the septic tank. They're backfilling that this week, and that's going to open the door for us to pour the last remaining curb and gutter behind the building and actually get the road installed there. And then the last picture shows some concrete block work going on. And I'm happy to report that this week the block mason will be finished and we'll be out of there, and we're moving on to painting and other things to make that block look pretty and ready for school. The Oconee County Primary School, Elementary School, and the Oconee County High School Phase 2 modifications. Again, we'll continue to work and be prepared to start working on this project as soon as school releases in May. And we're going to order materials and get things on hand ready to go. The new Instructional Support Center, we have advertised that for proposals. We have our pre-proposal conference on Thursday. And on the same note, Malcolm Bridge Elementary, we have also advertised that one, and we had our pre-proposal conference today. So we're moving forward with those projects and get ready to get started. Plan to present those in for the March meeting for our votes on both of those projects. Transportation update. The Transportation Department coordinated the following field trips over the last month: 12 field trips, 59 athletic trips, 34 special education trips, for a total of 105 trips, and 6,625 miles that we traveled last month for those trips. Lastly, we do have an action item. We have is for the purchase of a replacement air conditioning unit for the media center at Oconee Elementary School. It's currently advertised on the Georgia Procurement Registry. That will close by the end of this week, and I'll be bringing that the final price to you all next week for a vote. And that concludes my report. Unless you have any questions.
Any questions?
Just to confirm, Dove Creek Middle School is on track from a construction standpoint.
Yes, sir.
Do you see any delays when it comes to delayed finish this summer or anything leading up to next school year?
I don't see any delays. What I will say is that we will be ready for classes.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
On the instructional support center, if everything goes according to the way you sort of outlined and the way you think it's going to proceed, when would you expect to see site prep work start for that building?
We will bring it to the March board meeting for a vote, which would mean on the, I believe it's March the 14th, will be the day after that. That we'll notify the contractor. At that point, there will be a few weeks of doing paperwork, insurance bonds, that kind of thing, and we'll issue the notice to proceed as soon as that happens. So I would expect some activity to start on the site in mid-April.
Okay, thanks.
Anyone else? Thank you. Next, we have communications. Welcome.
The communications report contains 2 items of information and no action items for the February 13th Board of Education meeting. The first item of information is the January 2023 highlights video, and if you'll mute your mics, please. The second item of information pertains to the Volunteer Instructional Leadership Learning Academy. We have had now 2 sessions of VILA thus far. As Dr. Branch mentioned earlier, our January 24th session included a demonstration of the campus-wide alert system and a training exercise led by the Oconee County Sheriff's Office. We appreciate Sheriff Hale and his staff taking time for this exercise, and we continue to be grateful for our relationship with the Sheriff's Office. We are also grateful for the parent representatives from each school for their participation. We have our 3rd session tomorrow and our 4th later this month with topics including finance, human resources, teaching and learning, operations, and technology. This concludes the communications report, unless there are any questions.
Thank you. We do have a need to go into executive session and need a motion to do so.
I'll make a motion that the board will adjourn to executive session to discuss and deliberate upon personnel matters as described on the affidavit to be attached to the minutes.
Second.
Mr. Ransom, all in favor? Passes 5-0.
Take a few minutes to clear the board.